And that's made my mind up because what's happened again is when I've pressed the replay button, XSplit Broadcaster has locked up. There's a bug in it. I'm going to have to ditch the replay for this because it's causing a problem with it locking up. And we're just back in time to well, I don't even think we caught the last shot, but DJ Simon has won the match by 7 racks to 6 against Spectre Dawn. Yeah, the actual XSplit Broadcaster just totally freezes and there's nothing you can do other than shut it down and restart. So that's the last time I used the replay. That's causing a major issue. Meanwhile, DJ Simon is now through to round 3 to play Sylvia, and Chimpy is now playing Bankster. And on the one loss side, we've got John Boo playing Jezdev. It's 1 rack all there. We've got Slim playing LS3. Let's jump in and catch that. But the match is now over, so we've missed that result. One Pocket Slim has just won that one against LS3 by 4 racks to 1. And up top, we've got Larry against Travelling TT, and Larry's given 6 and out, and Travelling TT's 1 up. So let's jump into that one. And Larry looks as if he's about to square the match. And loads of check in the cue ball there to come back inside. Yeah, that's the last time I use the replay because that's the major functionality of it is causing a big problem. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to contact the support for XSplit Broadcaster and ask if they've had any issues with people having problems with the replay. Because there certainly is a problem. So Larry squares the match. Remember, this is 1 loss side. It's only a race to 4. And Travelling TT is getting 6 and out. Where Larry has to be really careful. And this will be 2 banks in a row if he gets this one. That's me now going to have 2 separate recordings on YouTube for this week's Friday Night 9 Ball. What I did the last time was I deleted both of them and I imported the file from Twitch. You can send the file from Twitch over to YouTube, so I could, because Twitch will have the full stream. YouTube doesn't give you enough time to reconnect, whereas Twitch does. So if you ever have a breakdown in your software, you end up with 2 separate recordings on YouTube, which is a bit crazy. Larry running for cover. And Larry's going to have to be ultra careful here because if he does anything silly, the way these balls are sitting, he could be asking for trouble. What happened, Semi, is the same thing that's happened the last twice, where, I've played the replay a couple of times tonight, but as soon as you get to like the 3rd or the 4th one, XSplit Broadcaster just totally locks up. It just freezes on the replay, and there's nothing I can do. So I then have to just kill the process, restart it, and start streaming again. So I won't be using the replay now. It's going to get ditched. In fact, I should have just went back to XSplit Gamecaster. It's the most reliable of them all. As soon as you start to complicate things with all these different scenes and stuff, then things start to go a bit haywire. So Larry now looking to take the lead. Nice angle on the 7. You drop the 8 in, get the cue ball out into the table for a good line in the 9, so nothing major he needs to do here. It's really annoying that when it does that. Really annoying. I'll contact the support. That's the one thing about XSplit. The support is pretty helpful. And I've got a lifetime. What do you call it? A lifetime registration for XSplit, Gamecaster and Broadcaster. And whenever I've had any sort of issue, I went on to them. They've been pretty good at sorting things out. So I'm going to ask them if there were any issues with the replay, and they'll probably ask for my log files at some point. Well, let's see if Travelling TT has a jump cue. Certainly does. Where's this Travelling TT from? The USA. Yeah, they've got a jump cue, but they don't get a lot of use of it. No, the thing is that VP4 should have a replay for spectators. I'm sure Steve could work that out. Where you're able to replay the last shot while you're watching rather than the actual player being the only one that can replay. I'm sure if Steve put his mind to it, he could probably put in a replay function. And it would probably look a lot better than what it does in the replay that the XSplit broadcaster does. Where's this cue ball going? Into the hole, that's where it's going. So Larry with a 2-1 lead, ball in hand, everything on. He's expected to run out. So 2, possibly 3 rails here, I would think. Is he trying to just draw across, or is he trying to run the cue ball? It looks like he's trying to. No, he is running 1, 2, 3. Is it going to get there? Yes, it is. And that's not bad because he's inside the 6 ball, which means if he gets the line right, he can just roll through for the 7 into the side. Well, he's trying to stun across. He might have been better to run it. I think the line that he had there, I think it'd have been easier for him to pot that and just run across. He's left himself a toughie. And of course, when he's given 6 and out here, he had to get that 7. And I think he's in more trouble. He's going to have to pinch a bit. No, he's deciding to leave the bedhead cut. Well, the pressure's on this. And John Boo has beaten Jess Dev 4 racks to 3. Pressure's on Larry here. And he's got it. And he's 1 away. Well, I think that's a dry break. And travelling TT can duck for cover here big time. And that isn't it. You know, again, you're seeing a player who had no control over the shot there. A lot worse than what I am. That's the control of somebody who's very inexperienced at the game. Because that was asking to be locked away, that cue ball, with all these balls that's down the table here. And Larry, I don't think there's an awful lot available to him, other than maybe trying to run that 3 ball into the 4, or trying to squeeze it into the gap, is he? Well, this is tight. I think he's lining up the 3-4 combo, but where's the 3 ball going to finish up? That's the question. Well, he's missed it. The 3 ball thought about running in to the other corner. Now, you want to go up and down the line to get the 3 ball in. Well, he's digging out the jump stick after the last effort with the jump stick. I wouldn't be doing this. Well, this time he's got it. Well, that's a much better effort. And now this is the draw back into the bottom pocket here. Well, it's actually a stun. That was much better executed. The stun draw. Perfect angle on the 5 to drop in behind the 6. Oh, well. Got a nice little kiss. Now, can he get himself some sort of shot in the 7? Now, what would the way to do it is to nick into it? Or, I mean, this is awkward to I mean, you're cutting it thin, so the cue ball wants to come straight across the table. But the spin, well, it's given him a chance. And tell a lie, it was 6 and out there, wasn't it? I've forgotten again. That's the second time tonight. It won't be the last. Well, will he get the job done this time? No, I was coughing slim. The voice is giving up. Well, Larry's got the hit, but if Travelling T can execute another good jump shot without going off the table, because this is dangerous, it could be going all the way, and he hasn't done it right this time. Failed in the first jump, got the second one perfect, and failed in the third one. And that'll be his last shot, because it's now ball in hand for Larry. Roll the 7 in, roll the 8 into the side, match done. But Larry can consider himself a wee bit fortunate to have survived here. A more experienced player would have took that chance and done for Larry tonight. But anyway, Larry goes on. Right, let's have a look at this bracket, because we're moving on fairly swiftly. Larry's now through to play Slim on the one-loss side. Tony Hughes playing John Boo. We've got Sylvia against DJ Simon and Chimpy against Bankster. So we're going to go in and catch this remainder of this third round match. And Sylvia's about to go into a 2-rack lead. It's a scratch match, no handicap. Oh, a dry one. One ball wide open. And somewhere in that gap between the 3 and 6 is where Simon wants to be. It needs to keep going. He's just got there. Well, he wants to hit the 8. He doesn't want to do that. Just rolling into that 8 would have done. Well, this is going to be a quick 3-9 combo for Sylvia to take a 3-rack lead here. Again, she can play the combo or play the billiard. It's just as easy. As long as the cue ball doesn't follow it in, which it doesn't. So Simon now has work to do. But Sylvia coming up with another dry one. Now again, this needs to watch the pace, because he's letting the cue ball leak away here. And he's still got a pot. But he's got to get this job done this time in this rack. Now, this 5 ball has to be punched in to get that cue ball across, and he's not got there. But he'll be going for the bank, I would think. Nope, he's trying to run for cover. Well, he wasn't refusing banks in his last match. And he's left Sylvia a cut here. Which, as long as you just drop it in dead weight, you're going to be on the 7. And she's overcut it. Well, I presume she was... I mean, she's missed it by so much, she probably played a safety. And it's not a bad result. Well, the pace in that was always going to keep it out once it starts rattling in the jaws. So Simon's reprieved again. Well, this just needs to take a line off that long rail on the left and past the 9 ball. He's trying to draw it, and that was not the shot. Has he still got a sight in it? Yes, he has. He could have run that, but he's got it. He's got there in the end. which is all that matters. So the 3 ball is gone. And that's a touch like a sledgehammer, Simon. That was way too heavy. Easy combo to start here for Sylvia. And likewise, with Sylvia having this 2-rack lead, and she's left that way short. Having a 2-rack lead and a good opportunity here to restore her 3-rack lead, and she's left it way short in the 2. Well, the good thing with this shot is there's nothing to do other than pot the 4. The cue ball's going to end up on the 5. But he's overcut it. He's been a bit tentative there. A similar shot here for Sylvia, though it's a bit thinner. In fact, it's probably too thin. This is going to have to run up the table, I think. Oh, she's overcut that as well by quite a margin. But, well, she's leaving Simon no option but to try the bank, I think. Nope, he's just trying to run the 4 safe. It's not a bad result. So this time, you won't get any better an opportunity here to get back within 1. Needs a decent enough angle on the 7. Now this cue ball needs to just finish in the bottom half of the table somewhere. Oh, I think he's played that perfect. That was excellent. Absolutely plumb on the 8 ball. So Simon now, with the table at his mercy, if he can get good in this 5, he'll be looking extremely well to be squaring the match. Now, once again, it's make your mind up time. Well, the 6 does go past the 9, but that 9 ball suddenly doubles in size when you're trying to squeeze the 6 past it. And he's got it perfect. And again, the cue ball has got to run to the bottom half of the table here. And that will do. So, Sylvia, with that little bit of run of the ball, gets to 1 away to survive in another round on the winner's side. Now, something eventually went down there. The 6 is gone. A none too pretty shot in the 1. Well, the jump shot executed very well. They banked that 2 ball towards the 8 and 9 and run for cover. No, he's going the other way. And that's actually worked out just as well. Good cover behind the 8. And again, the old hit and hope. Well, this time Sylvia doesn't get as good a roll. And Simon, with the opportunity to take this one all the way. Oh dear. Again, there was nothing really to think about that 5 ball. And he's taking his eye off the 4. And is that going to be Simon's last shot? Well, Sylvia needs some sort of angle on this 7. And slightly inside the 7 will do nicely. Inside towards the rail. Just got to watch that this cue ball doesn't leak away too far. Well, it's up and down for the 9. But anywhere left and right of the 9. Oh dear. And that is it. She didn't get there with the cue ball and was heading far too close to the 9. And she's rattled the 8 and Simon helps himself. So it's DJ Simon that goes through. Oh, tell a lie, it's 6 racks all. I thought it was... I'm falling asleep already. I thought it was 6 racks all. It is 6 racks all now. And what was that? The 4 ball has gone. Two ball does go. Well, this is around the corner. Missed the 6 ball. I don't know whether Sylvia played the pot or not, but if she did, she's overhit it for the 2. Oh, the 9 ball. And the 9 has gone in. Well, if that was played, that was well done. Sylvia goes through. 7 racks to 6. Right, now where have we got to now? So Sylvia's now through, waiting on the winner of Champion Bankster. And Bankster is 6-5 up. Let's jump into that. And Bankster getting the 6 ball as well. So it isn't 6 and out, he's just getting the 6 ball. Oh, and Bankster now has a shot in the one. It's going to be some sort of shot to have anything in the 2 ball though. But he could play a good safety. If he can get reasonably good on this 2, he can certainly put Chimpy in trouble. Well, he could try the lock-up. And that will do it. Yeah, that was... that's something you need to be playing on a regular basis to execute those jump shots when you're really close. So, Bankster, ball in hand, has to get from that 3 back out into the table for the 4. And he's got the perfect angle to come out into the table for the 4. No excuse. Now, you can't avoid hitting the 5. The problem is if he hits it with a reasonable pace, the 5 will go towards that other pocket or to the short rail. So he doesn't want to slam this 4 ball in. And that will do. That's perfect. Now, again, if you follow the line, you want to just finish about there for the 6 into the side. You don't want to try and do anything miraculous. Well, he's managed to hold it for up table, but I don't know whether he could have went through for the 6 in the side. It doesn't matter. He just needs to roll this in. And so Bankster, the dangerous man, with the handicap, has a chance to... What the hell's happening here? I must be well out of sync. Bankster's 7-5 according to my screen. This is gone haywire here. Yeah, it's 6-5 to Bankster now, according to that. That was really weird. Well out of sync. I'm thinking, why is the match still going on? Well, it's over now, I think. We'll need to wait. Yes, it is. So Bankster does eventually go through by 7 racks to 5. That was weird. Right, so now I think most of the action is going to be on the one loss side here. We've got Larry playing DJ Simon right now. Sylvia's about to start playing her hot seat match with Bankster, but we're going to go in and catch Larry and Simon. We're in the first rack in this race to 4, and Simon's getting a 5 ball, and Larry's trying to run the cue ball around for the 5, but the old rattle in the jaws has done him again. Excuse me. This is tough. And he's going to be running into the 7, I think. It could either turn out good or bad if he pots this 5. Is he playing the bank? I don't know whether he's playing the bank or the cut. It looks as if he's taking. Well, he's thinking about it. And in the end, I don't know what he tried. This needs to miss the 9. Well, the kiss of the 9 would have been handy if it didn't do that. And Larry's given it the old heave-ho, hoping for a roll. But, well, Simon's money ball has gone, so he has to pot the 3 these days. The wrong side of the 7. But he's got a nice angle, though. What's he doing? Right, aye. He just needs a wee bit of right. He can pinch a wee bit here and use a little bit of his drawing just to come back to play it long. But I think he could have actually just played a little bit of right, went to the point there and went across. Maybe my eyes are seeing it differently from the way Simon's playing. He's content to play from distance. It's never advisable. But he's taking his time. And that's perfect. Just a roll in the 9. And John Boo has gone through against Tony Ute, 4 racks to 2. And meanwhile, Simon in rack number 2 in this match has had the 6 in the break, the 1 on to the 5. Now, how's his luck? I don't think it's very good. I tell a lie, it was the 5 is his money ball, isn't it? Now, my mind's beginning to go, it's that time of night, it's after 8:30, the brain's gone. That was a very quick rack for 2-0. Now, he's gone again for the bank. I thought he would have went into the gap there just to run for cover. Well, fairly straightforward shot, cut into the side, so it's all about the pace. Making sure he comes down the left-hand side of this 2-ball. Now again, it's make your mind up time. Is it just a roll in for a long 4-ball? Or, nothing elaborate. Again, it's a good angle. He might want to... yeah, I think he's reluctant to stud it in. Because again, if you get it slightly offline, it won't go in the pocket. It's just going to rattle and hold up. So he let that cue ball run away a wee bit more than he would have liked it. Well, now he needs this to get out far enough, and I think that will do. Just again, just a straight drop in. And Larry will be off the mark. I don't think he's got any joy. Well, it's a start for DJ Simon. And the problem is potting the 1 and holding the cue ball down. I think he's fine here. This'll do. Again, he's playing. He's jacking up just to stun it dead. This looks good. A straight 4-ball. Nothing to do with the cue ball other than just pot the 3 and make sure well, again, he's taking his eye off it. I mean, there was nothing fancy even done. He just had to, even if he just rolled it in. He would have been fine. And that's a bad miss by DJ Simon. And maybe signs that it's getting to Simon's bedtime as well. But I'm pretty certain Simon wasn't up at 4 o'clock this morning like I was. So the big shot for this rack is from the 6 to the 7. And that 7 ain't going, I don't think. Larry trying to get a nudge. Yeah, there was no way the 7's going. So he can now use the 9 as a stopper. Hit this as thin as he can and get distance between the two of them. Well, Larry's taking his time here. I don't know what he's up to. Is he trying to reverse bank this? Looks like it. Oh, is it going to get a hit? No, it hasn't. I thought it was going to run into the cue ball. And Simon might try slamming the cue ball into the 9 here. I don't think he's certainly not cutting that at that angle, I don't think. Now he needs to get lucky. And he hasn't. And it's going to be 2 racks all. Well, the 8 ball just to the legs at the last second to drop. But we are all square. Larry with the break. And rack number 5. Cue ball.
Trouble? Where's the cue ball going?
I keep hitting the wrong button. Well, I think the cue ball would have stayed in the table there if it hadn't got that final little nudge with the 3 ball. But again, Simon with a great chance here. If he misses the 5, and he didn't want to run into the 5, it's now a more difficult cut in the 4. He's played the bank. Simon's just showing the odd sign of wear and tear here. It's getting late. The tournament's, well, Larry's overcut that. And I think Larry's doing the same thing. The tournament's almost 2 hours old. This looks good. But now, what does Simon do? And this is his money ball. He could cross bank it. He's tried it. Where's the 7 going? I thought about going in. But Larry should be good here. So it's going to be roll the 6 in, drop the 7 in, roll the 8 up the table top left, and he's on the 9, and Larry will be on the hill as well. So we're into rack number 6. I think this, well, something finally dropped. I don't know where it went. Where was it? There's the 8 ball. And he can't see the 1. Executes the jump, but can't see the 2. Now, is this the 17th of June? Am I right in saying this is the 17th? Let me have a look at my phone. Yeah, it is the 17th of June. Well, here's a bit of information that not a lot of people would be paying any attention to, but yesterday was Stan Laurel's birthday. He was born in 1890. So it would have been his, what would that be? He would be 132, would he? If he was still alive. And he died in 1965, the year after I was born. Just thought I'd let you know that, because I'm sure none of you were paying any attention to stuff like that, but that's the sort of things that catch my eye. So Simon takes it all the way, 3 racks all, with the break, to see who survives for another match in this week's Friday Night 9 Ball. Well, the 9 ball has gone in, the 1 ball has gone in, the 9 ball will get respotted. He'll have half a shot in the 2. Oh dear. Well, he just hit that plain ball. He didn't do anything to deflect and change the angle of the cue ball, because when you're hitting it like that, the angle that it goes onto the cue ball, onto the object ball, will be the same angle when it comes off the object ball. If you don't do anything with the cue ball, the object ball line was straight into that corner pocket, or the opposite corner pocket. So that's gifted Larry his chance to survive. So he's going to be getting rid of Simon's money ball. And again, Larry doesn't want to be too elaborate here. He just wants to roll the 6 in and be able to see the 7. That's all he should be thinking about. Well, he's gone with the inside English. He's trying to leave it as awkward as he can. That sent the cue ball the other direction. He's making sure he was avoiding the 9. But he's making hard work of this. Well, it looks an easy enough bank on the 8 ball, but Larry's going for the thin cut. Well, he's thinking about it. Now he's got a wee bit of right on this cue ball just to change the angle of the cue ball, trying to avoid the scratch, and he's nailed it perfect. So it's Larry who goes through, as does Chimpy, who's beaten John Boo by 4 racks to 1, and Larry goes through by the odd rack. And DJ Simon has to try again next week. So now we're almost getting there. We've got the next match between Larry and Chimpy, and while they're going at it, we've got Bankster, who is 5 racks to 0 up against Sylvia on hot seat match. But no prizes for guessing where we're going. We're going to be going into the Larry Chimpy match. Now, of course, the loser of that match was Sylvia and Bankster. The loser will come over to the semi-final spot and play the winner of this match we're about to watch. So Larry's won the lag, race to 4, and there's no handicap. And there's no ball in the break either, by the sounds of it. Well, the thin cut in the 1, but the cue ball's running slap bang into the 6. He needs a double kiss off this 6 ball if he can get it. That would send the cue ball back down the table here. No, he's trying to play a bank onto the, well, a sort of bank combo onto the 9. Well, Larry could try something wild here as well. He could try the cut in the 1 and run into the 8 and try and push the 9 in. You never know. I'm surprised my voice is held out, but it's not sounding too healthy. Well, I'm sure he wanted to do it a wee bit more than that. He wanted out into the table a wee bit more, but he can drop this in dead weight. He's got to be on the 4, because the cue ball, well, he's digging down into the cue ball. I don't think he needs to do anything other than just roll that 3 in. He's got to be on the 4. I don't think he had to be as elaborate as that. I mean, the angle was there. If you just drop it in, the cue ball's going to leak away this way, and you're still going to have a cut in the 4. Larry's well off the line with that 3 ball. And I think the 3 ball still squeezes past the 4. It certainly does. Well, again, you know, these guys aren't getting near the pocket with this 3 ball. Chimpy was a mile away there. Got lucky though. That's a good shot. That was good touch there from Larry. And Larry gets his reward. Ball in hand from the scratch. Well, the problem ball. Well, there's another problem. Larry's gone dead straight on the 4, but the problem is actually getting good in the 5 to be able to get good in the 6, because if you know, the 6 is fairly tight to the rail, so you've got to have an angle to get a shot in the 7, and he's certainly got that. He's just got to keep this 6 flush to the rail. Nothing to do with the cue ball, just play the shot. The cue ball goes in the right direction. Now, once again, there's a choice here. You can go inside the 8 on the right side and out, or stun it off the top rail and into the table like that. You've got two choices to how you get there. It's whatever you're most comfortable with, and that's perfect. A perfect little angle in the 8 to play the stun and get the spin working. So first blood to Larry. And this isn't looking healthy as a good break. It's dry. And let's have a quick look around. Well, Chimpy can't see anything of that one ball. Now, had that one ball been on the rail, it's well worth a kick, because there's always a strong possibility of the one going along the rail and getting into the pocket, but it's quite a bit off the rail, so that shot was never on. Now this has got a possibility. I don't know whether the 9 ball's in the way. It looks as if the 9 ball's in the way here. Yeah, I think the 9 ball was slightly in the way, although he's got a good hit. He's now left Larry a chance to get off and running here. I'm trying to remember my button combinations on this, because when I wasn't here last week, I'm trying to remember all my button configurations. Let's see what this one does.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
We don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.
Well, Larry's now looking good for 2-0. I think he's it's a simple little draw. Well, stop. Excuse me. Hang on. Well, Stubb was all mouth earlier on this evening. I thought Stubb was going to be into tonight's tournament, but he bottled out. So Larry, with the 2-0 lead, has come up dry. Now there's some sort of opportunity here for a 1-2-5 combo. Big distance between the 1 and the 2. But the 5 has gone in. Of course, you'd never any guarantee you were going to have a shot on that 1 ball. But you can play the double hit here. Or he could try dinking the edge of it and sneaking behind the 2. Well, he wanted to miss the 2. But certainly Larry doesn't have a lot of opportunities here for safeties. Oh, this might finish right on the 9 ball here for a combo. Oh, well, it's just run far enough. Well, he's maybe trying to play a billiard on the 9 here, but there's a big risk of the double kiss, and that's, I think, what he ended up getting. But he's actually potted the one. I don't know whether he played that, but if he did, it was excellent. It looked as if he was playing the billiard there. But whatever it was, the one has gone in, and he's perfect in the 2. Anywhere, well, again, you need to get up the table far enough. That'll just do. Now, does he want to come back up the table or just take this 4 ball into the left side pocket? Well, again, he's went around the corner to get onto the 4, and that involved doing a bit with the cue ball and digging into the cue ball. He's sent it offline into the jaws and can consider himself fortunate that he's left the 3 ball there with nothing for Larry. Well, good evening to Bedhead. Nice to see that you got here in time. You're only 2.25 hours late. See, that's the thing with Swedish people. They're so laid back. They've got no sense of time at all. None whatsoever. If they're not rolling about in the snow naked, they're jumping in and out of saunas, beating themselves with sticks, and eating smelly fish. Well, Chimpy has to get this one done. He's 2-0 down in a race to 4. He cannot afford another error, but this 6 ball is fairly tight to the rail, and he's got to keep it flush. Now, you sound a bit like Gandalf there, Bedhead. A bedhead is never late. A bedhead arrives precisely when he intends to do so. Something like that, or a line like that out of Lord of the Rings. See, I remember all those sort of sad things. Where's this cue ball going? Have I got that working?
Where's the cue ball going?
I got it that time. So, disaster for Chimpy, and it's 3-0 to Larry. And the 7 ball has gone in this time, and Larry's got a thin cut in the 1. And, well, he's going to have to come back into the table past the 9 ball to leave the bedhead cut in the 2. That's a shot. He wants to finish somewhere like there. Well, he's going that way, but as long as he finishes about there, within that line, he's perfect. But there's a sequence of shots here. Well, he's trying to get lucky. He's trying to break the 5 and 6 and still have a shot on the 3. But in doing all of that, he's forgotten about the 2. And he might be paying a big price here. But Chimpy is in the last chance saloon in this match. And he's gone pretty straight in the 3. He can pinch a wee bit of angle just to come back up the table slightly. Try and get a good line in the 4. Well, he could have done with a wee bit more because the distance between here and here, it makes the shot far easier. Problem now is he's heading up towards the 5, so he's had to dig in, get the stun, and that will do. And he's got a slight angle he can pinch to come off the rail and in this side. Look at where the 9 ball is, right in the middle of the table. It looks as if it couldn't be easier to pot this 6, roll the 8 in, and have a shot in the 9. And in it goes. But can't afford any mistakes now, Chimpy. But needs a ball and a shot to get him going. Does any of you guys think we're getting far too many dry breaks in VP4? I mean, if you're comparing VP4 to real life, you know, those pros, if you want, you don't, it doesn't matter, whatever pro tournament you watch, but if you're watching Matchroom Pool and you're watching the World Cup of Pool, you know, these guys they're finding a break that's giving them the 1 ball in the side pocket, that sort of thing. There's nothing, you know, there's predictability in the pro game with the way the pool table is, but in VP4 there's no predictability whatsoever, and it's maybe gone from, you know, one extreme to the other. When we did the testing in VP4, Larry will tell you he was breaking in VP4 and he could get the 9 ball to drift towards the corner pocket on a very regular basis. And so at that point, Steve started, you know, doing things with the pack and things to prevent the 9 ball going to the corner pocket each break. And I think it's gone from one extreme to the other, where we're getting far too many dry breaks and absolutely no predictability at all, which you do get in the pro game. And I think that, in all honesty, the 9 ball games maybe suffered slightly for that. I don't know about you guys. I mean, it's all very well to make it, to bring that randomness in, but it's not that random in the real life professional game. I mean, no sooner do you think you've found a break in VP4, but the next 10 racks you could come up dry. Well, if you ask Larry, Larry will tell you. And I mean, I watched Larry. Larry showed us him breaking, and you were getting, in fact, you know, 4 times out of 5 he could get the 9 ball to get into the corner pocket. And so that was where, you know, changes started happening with the pack in order to prevent that. But anyway, Larry has survived and gone through. So he now will play Sylvia. What the hell happened in that match with Sylvia and Bankster? Bankster was 5-0 up. No, wait a minute here. No, I'm right. Aye. He won 7-1. So Sylvia is now waiting to play Larry. Yeah, that's where all the changes started happening early on in VP4, because you had to take that sort of predictability, because that was one extreme to the other. If you watch the pros in the World Cup of Pool there, or in the World 9 Ball Championships, the 9 balls never regularly tracking towards the corner pocket, but it was in VP4. But you know, I think we've maybe taken it from one extreme to the other, maybe a bit too much. I mean, I was in, you know, I was saying earlier, I've been messed about with the settings in VP4 for the mouse settings, and I've been in practicing breaking a 9 ball. I mean, I broke like 6 racks in a row and never got a ball in the break. None whatsoever. So, we are now 2 hours and 25 minutes into the tournament, and hang on a minute here. Right, so Sylvia has forfeited. That's what's happened. I've got it now. Because Sylvia signed up for that straight pool tournament, didn't she, or something? I don't know whether it went ahead, but she's forfeited against Larry, so excuse me. So we've now got the final between Bankster and Larry. Race to 9, if my voice can hold out. I'm struggling. And Bankster's going to be getting the 7 ball or something like that. Excuse me, I need to mute myself. Now, this is why I would never have been able to do this last week, because I wouldn't have got past the first match and the voice would have given up. I've gotten to the final here, but I'm on my last legs as far as the voice goes. So let's head in. We're in the first rack, and Bankster's getting the 5 ball, which Larry's got to be careful of. Well, it must be a struggle, semi-pro, if you're in the stream asking for somebody for a game of snooker. Well, there's the first big blunder of the match. Larry's had a slam at the 5, leaves the 5 hanging over the side pocket, and says to Bankster, help yourself. And Bankster's break gives him the 2 ball. I don't know whether that 1 squeezes past the 8. No, not really. There wasn't an awful lot of room there at all. But he's played a good safety. So, I don't know what Larry did there because I was reading the chat. But anyway, Larry scratched again and given Bankster his second go in rack number 2. No. What? As I say, what you should have done, before you do anything, is to do what I did. I just copied. I was copying what he said in the chat into Google Translate to get a general idea of what he was saying, and he was just saying the usual crap that he says. But that's by the by. Look at the 9 ball that's going in the break. 6 balls going in. But the thing is, if you get 2 guys from the same country and they're talking to one another, they can talk in their own language. That's what they're comfortable with. The problem with VP4 is, and that's the biggest problem it's always had, is that it's not a user-friendly lobby as far as attracting people who don't speak English as their first language. It's not quite easy to find your way around. But there's never been any case whatsoever for for people speaking their own language, especially to one another. I mean, Samari or Jana or whatever he calls himself, he just rants half the time anyway whenever he's lost a match, and then he disappears and then he comes back for the next tournament. But I wouldn't. In fact, I wouldn't even apologise to him because he's an arsehole. In fact, he'll probably tell you to F off if you try to apologise to him. Did any of you guys read the chat the other night there, by the way? I can't remember the name of the guy, but I get some sort of rant off another guy, and I still don't know what the hell he was talking about. And I can't remember his name. But he was ranting that I had messed up the carom table from what I could understand, and I don't know. I haven't a clue what the hell made him think I have anything to do with VP4. But he had a rant and a half, and I was getting a fair bit of abuse off the guy. Oh, here we go. Well, it's Larry's turn to get a free go with ball in hand. Well, this must be a record for Friday Night 9-ball, because I don't think we've had a sequence of Friday Night 9-balls where it's been a full house for probably the best part of 4 or 5 weeks, I think. I mean, maybe there's been the odd week where there's maybe been one or two short, but the turnout has been excellent. What I do know about the guy I was talking about is that he plays a fair bit of caroms or three cushion billiards. I just can't remember his name. But he had it in for me. I don't know what the hell he was on about, but he seemed to think I had messed up the game. Well, Larry, again, has lost his pace here. He's left himself in that dodgy square line on the 9. And in it goes, though. And it's 3-0. 2-1. He's off the map. Oh, I forgot to check and see how the golf was doing, how the US Open was doing. But I noticed that, what's his name? What the hell do you call him? Why the hell is it I can't remember people's names nowadays? Phil Mickelson, that's the name. I noticed that he was struggling. He was 5 over after 7 holes last night when I went to bed. Oh, this is some shot. If this has got legs. And it hasn't. I wonder how McIlroy's doing. He was one shot off the lead at the end of last night. Did you read that, Fuzzy in the lot? No, I think the first thing he was doing was having a rant at Steve, and I said, you're going to. I think he was writing everything in capital letters, and I said, you're going to have to shout louder than that. He's halfway up a mountain in the Sierras, and then for some reason he must have thought I was Steve. and then him and his pal, he chipped in once or twice, but I still don't know what the hell he was talking about, because he's got a US flag and he certainly wasn't typing in proper English. I think he's probably a Mexican. Well, this looks a good bank, and it is, but it's going to have to be a good 6 ball as well. And don't hook yourself behind the 9. He's played that well. He should get out off the rail. Yeah, the guy was ranting about, I think, from what I could understand, he was ranting about the carom table and something not been right, but that's about all I could understand. I just couldn't understand why I was getting it. So Larry gets it back all square. Well, this is again going to be one of the earliest finishes for this Friday night 9 ball. It's only 9:30 or what? Well, it's 9:37 or something now, but it's going to be finished in nice time for me just to jump straight into bed. I had to laugh at Nicola Sturgeon, or wee Jimmy Cranky as I call her. For anybody that doesn't know, we're talking politics. She's the leader of the Scottish National Party in Scotland, and they're the governing party in Holyrood in Edinburgh. They've got the majority of the votes, and she's the leader. And again, for those that don't know, the SNP's major policy in all their years is to seek independence for Scotland as a nation. And we've had, in my lifetime, we've had 3 or 4 referendums for Scotland to vote for independence, and each time everybody's chickened out. And she's now made another statement during the week that she's going for another vote, but she can't do that unless the British government allow her to do that. She's saying she's going to work her way around that, but in truth, even though Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland have their own parliaments, the final say generally goes with the British government in London. And she's the BBC did a report, and she's talked about this and that, and I think it's time we had another vote for independence. This government's doing us no good. Blah blah blah, the usual stuff. And meanwhile, they're talking to people in the street, and I don't. From what I saw, I don't think one of them was interested. No, we're not wanting independence. No, I'm not. No, we're not wanting that. So, I mean, she's gone off on the wrong tangent. I mean, how many times? I mean, I think she's working in the policy that the more times you ask somebody to give you something, eventually they're going to relent and say, just to shut you up. But she hasn't quite worked that out, the poor lassie. The Scottish people as a whole are just too chicken to stand on their own 2 feet. Anyway, that's my political rant over for the night. Well, you're damn right it wasn't making any sense, because I was asking for help in the lobby and nobody was trying to explain to me what he was talking about, because I think nobody else knew what he was talking about. Well, this is another recovery shot here for Larry. Cue ball's heading in the right direction. Played it well. Now, what's the line like? Well, he's fine. All he needs to make sure is he's coming down the right side of the 9 ball, and I think he should be fine. Yeah, he's just jacking up a wee bit to make sure he goes right, rather than coming down any sort of line straight onto the 9 ball, and that's perfect. So Larry, from 2-0 down, gets himself into the lead. And again, it's looking dry. And Bankster has a 1 and a 2, and then a problem. And the problem being the 3 ball, where it's not really going anywhere where it is. Okay, it does go past the 5. It's tight, but you're never going to get on the 3 at this side. That ain't going to happen. It'll be a miracle shot if he has any shot whatsoever in the 3. Well, he's trying his best, and if he gets a nudge in the 7, well, that will do very nicely. I mean, this 3 does go right in off the jaw. That's perfect. And again, he only has to roll the 3 in. He's got nothing to think about in terms of position for the 4. The only thing he's got to worry about is that if he can, and he has to, ideally he wants to stun this in and come back and run into the 7 ball. That's the shot. He wants to get into this enough where he can come in and get near the 7. Oh, he's not got there. And now he's in trouble. Out with the jump stick. And can he keep this cue ball on the table? Well, that was some shot to get onto that. What was it, the 3 ball? And there's the problem. Well, that cue ball bounced off the cushions twice and then lobbed into the pocket after the 5. That was unlucky. And of course, that was the ball for the rack. That's his money ball gone. Now, own up. Who the hell is King Air Pilot? You're going to have to let us know who you are. I've never seen that name before. You've got to let us know who you are. Because there's certainly no name like that. Oh, the voice is gone now, guys. I might be struggling to get to the end of this match. It's beginning to go. So Larry with a 4-2 lead plays the push out. Now, again, there's a perfectly reasonable safety here. Cut that 1 ball thin enough that you're missing the 5 and coming around and back down the table here and getting distance. And that was not the shot. The only thing is that Larry's well hampered by this 4 ball. I thought is that you in a different name? I thought you were in the chat earlier on under your name. Maybe I wasn't reading the chat clear enough at this time of night. Well, Larry's looking odds on to be building up a healthy little lead here. Ah, right, so you jump from YouTube to Twitch or Twitch to YouTube. Well, Twitch is usually the best, from what I've been told. There's less delay on Twitch than there is on YouTube. Five balls tracking, and that's immediately get rid of Bankster's money ball, and that makes it a lot more difficult for him to win this rack. And Larry, having potted a 3 as well, well, he didn't want to hit that point on that middle pocket there, because that's given Bankster a pot in the 1. He's going to have no shot other than a combo on the 2-8 if he doesn't hook himself. And I think he can see enough of it. But he's just trying to lock up. But that's not tight enough. You've got to nail it right on top of it. Oh, he nearly got lucky. But Bankster has his opportunity, and now he's got to run the table. And he's well capable of doing it, though, without that 5 ball. Needs a nice angle again on this 6. He has to get out for this 7 now. Does the 7 go past the 8? Because that's more than likely what he'd be looking for. Yes, it does. So it's just pot the 6 and let the cue ball run out. And that looks reasonably good. Could have run with a wee bit more. But you just have to take what you get. And it's gone in, and it was just the pace that let that drop. Well, again, he could have run with another couple of ounces on that, but it shouldn't be a problem. Fairly straightforward cut. And he's back to within 2. Oh, again, a corner ball has flown in. Don't know what one it was, but I don't think you can see enough of the one. What one went? The 2 ball? Yes, I think he can. I think he can get enough of that. No, he sent it around the corner. Needs to get lucky. And he's got the help there. And this time Larry gets a little run of the ball. Now, Bankster's got to miss the double kiss here if he wants to get distance between these two. He's going to... Well, he's putting right English on it to avoid the 3, but he couldn't get distance. And well, it is an opportunity for Larry to put him in trouble. Well, he's no doubt he's going to jump this, but once again, at this close distance, as soon as that cue ball bounces, is it going to bounce off the table? There's always a very strong likelihood of that happening. Well, it seems that there's a corner ball went in a couple of the breaks, but you know, you'll have that happening, and then you're going to have a long period where nothing like that happens. That's what I was talking about earlier on about the real life professional game where the guys are breaking and they're finding a break where the one ball's going into one of the side pockets. You've got nothing like that happening in VP4, and that's why I'm saying that maybe this randomisation of the break has gone a little bit too far in VP4, because there seems to be an awful lot more dry breaks happening in VP4 than there is happening in the real life game. You only have to watch anything on the stream there in 9 ball and you'll see what I mean. But that was a thing I also mentioned a couple of weeks ago, that Shooter's Pool has introduced, you've got the normal racking, but you've also got the option of the template racking, which they've got in the game in the beta phase. You can have that as a choice for racking the balls. Now, as to whether that brings that bit more predictability in the break into that game, I don't know, because I haven't tried it. I just noticed that it is excuse me. I just noticed that they've introduced it into the game, but I haven't been there to ask people if it's making any difference to the break in that game. I need another drink. I need to try and hold out to go the distance here. So Bankster's back to within 1. He's had the 8 ball in the break. He's got no shot. And he's playing the push out. Now, if he stays at that end of the table, yeah, that's actually a better shot, believe it or not, because he hasn't given Larry the push through lockup, because the 4 ball's blocking it. And in the end, Larry's gone all over the place there. Now, what about this 2 ball? Well, the 2 ball doesn't go, so what Bankster should be looking at here is potting the 2 and potting the 1 and getting up towards the 2 so that he can play a good safety. And that's maybe not the best of positions. And that 2 ball's going to squirt out further and further, and it's left Larry a pot. He might just be content to leave this 3 ball at distance without trying anything too elaborate, and that's what he's done. Now, a little stun across, just like that. Problem now is he's got the wrong angle on this 4. And he might be looking to brush off the 6 to give him a better line than the 5. I think that's what he's looking at here. Yeah, he's hit it thick. See, he wanted to hit that 6 on its right side so the cue ball would go that way and open up the shot better for the 5. Well, he's still got the shot in the 5, but he's having a look at this 6-9 combo, which, if you were sitting here on the 6, you would get the 9 in every day because you're just chipping the 6 to the rail to clip the 9 in. And I think he couldn't have played that any better. That is absolutely perfect, more or less. And now, this is all just about aiming the 6 ball to that line there, where you just hit the rail and chip the 9. You don't want to hit any more of that 9 than you need to. And he played it well. The one thing I've noticed in VP4 as well is that there's not really anybody I see breaking where they're jacking up the queue to a higher angle. Because that's the one way to get that stop in the cue ball. There's nobody does anything like that on a regular basis. Because the whole object of the break in 9 ball is not only to open the balls and hopefully pot something, but you're trying to stop that cue ball in the middle of the table and kill it. But you don't see anybody jacking up in VP4. You know, moving that cue to a higher angle to play the break. In VP3, that was always frowned against. Jacking up over a certain angle, because VP3 had much more predictability about balls in the break. There was no randomization in VP3, so you could pretty much always break and be more or less guaranteed to have a ball or balls in the break. So, Bankster still trailing by 1. And if he gives out past the 6, which he's done, clean shot in the 2, clean shot in the 3. And then it all hinges from the 3 to the 5 to square the match. Is he dead straight? Yes, he pretty much is. He can force an angle though. He can put this into the left side of the pocket. He's trying to draw it dead weight, and that again is well played. He's controlled that excellent. That is a very well controlled draw shot, stun draw. Well, Larry had a healthy lead. That's evaporated. And Bankster is also getting a ball in the break. The 7 ball is gone. He's got a shot in the 1. Oh, he squirted out behind that 4 ball. Okay, it's not finished great in the 2, but he avoided the traffic. Now that is well played. That is excellent. And that is using your head. Because that's got Larry fairly tight behind the 5. And that's leaving him what to do to get a hit on this 2 ball. So Bankster has the reward. My voice is going fast. I'm trying to make it to the end, but it's not looking good. It's trying to give up on me. Oh, where's this going? Oh, he's killed it. He's locked right onto the 4. He just wanted to squat out behind that. And now he's stone dead. And he was looking at being in the lead there for a second until this happened. He needs to get to a rail though, and it ain't getting there. And that's gifted Larry his chance. Now Larry's got this fairly straight, so he's looking to just drop down in the short side here. And he's just not, he wanted to be there. He's a foot short of where he wanted to be. And now he needs to watch the collision on this 8 ball. He's hoping to hit it full in the face. And he skimmed it. And now he's got a bedhead cut. But he should be fine, because again, you've nothing to do other than pot the 6. You're going to be on the 8. Now, again, he's got a choice. Does he put right spin on this to come around the table, or does he? Yes, he is. And the only danger is avoiding the scratch in the side. And again, he's played it perfect. Right, thanks for watching. Good night. Oh, cue ball. I'll do it now that I've got time.
Where's the cue ball going?
So, Larry's slender lead, but Baxter's taking his eye off it, and I think the fatigue is setting in because you don't miss a 1 ball into the side with ball in hand. So we've just gone by 3 hours, and those signs of wear and tear are setting in, both on the table and in the commentary box. I think I'm a bit worse for wear than these guys, though. But when there was no way I could do last week's Friday Night 9 Ball, no way I could have done it. It would have been a silent commentary. But and this week, I knew I could start it. I just didn't know whether I was going to be able to finish it. And 3 hours ranting and raving plays havoc with the voice box when it's in none too good a shape in the first place. But Larry now, if he can get the 3, deal with this 4 and 5 now. Ideally, I think if he gets into the cue ball enough, he can hold nice still on this 5 ball. He's going to come back off the 4. Yeah. He's played that well. That's exactly what you want to do. Just get into the cue ball enough to go to the rail and get out and still hold nice on that 5. But he's just overjuiced it there. And now he's got to hold the cue ball. He's got to jab this in and avoid the scratch in the side. He doesn't want to get into the cue ball too much, or he could definitely go into the side pocket. Yeah, he just dragged it. If he jabbed that and stunned it more, he could have easily just dropped into the side. So he took evasive action. And once again, this is the perfect angle. All you do is focus on the pot, because the cue balls go in the right direction down the left side. On the wider side of the 9, you're always going to have a shot. And this will take Larry to the hill. And so Larry's going to be breaking for the match. Let's see if we have a corner ball this time. No, we don't. But the 3 ball's gone in up top. Something else has gone in somewhere. The 3 and the 6 have gone. He's got a thin cut in the 1. Excuse me. And if he comes just down past that 8 ball, he'll have the 2 in past the 9, or he could if he wanted to. If he gets really good on this 2 ball, he could play the 2-9 combo. So this is all about just judging the pace. And he's overcooked it again by quite a margin. I mean, he's ran more than a foot and a half past that point that he wanted to be on. He might still, I don't know whether he's going to jack up and try a billiard onto this 9. He doesn't look as if he's doing that. He looks as if he's... Is he trying the bank? It's a bit tight for the bank. I don't know what he's doing. Yes, he is playing the bank, and it was tight, and it did go in. But look at the cue ball. Well, here's your next gift for the night, bankster. Draw off the 4, roll the 5 in, and he's back to within 1 again. And if Bankster can get a break and a shot in this rack, we might be going all the way, or the next one I should say. Oh, the 3 ball got kicked off the 8 and it's finally gone in. But, well, that 1 ball is really tight. And he's stuck to the bottom rail here. Or the top rail, depending on what end of the table you're looking at. I mean, again, he's got such an easy safety shot. You know, you thin cut that 1 to the rail, send it to the top rail, bring the cue ball up and down the table here and look for cover. I mean, it's asking for a good safety. Well, he's went all out for the pot. And, well, I think, let's have a look. I think Larry's cutting that in, no problem. I think it's thin. He can cut it in. The problem is he's got to do it with pace. And the cue ball's running all around the table. Well, he's looking to cut it into the top pocket, and he's got to catch the point. And, well, it was staring you right in the face, wasn't it? Larry decided that he could pot that up table and catch the point, and he didn't. And he's given Bankster a chance at it. And it's going to be tough because the 5 ball's in an awkward spot. The 4 ball's just as awkward where it's sitting. But he can stun on the 2 here and get across to the 4 into the top right hand corner pocket. Well, I don't know why he didn't just stun across here, because that's a shot. If you get the 4 in, you can roll through for the 5. And he's got to get into the cue ball here as well. And he's letting it run, and the danger with that is you end up... Well, he's got well on the 5. I'll give him that. And he's got really lucky that he hasn't left this easier for Larry. But Larry's looking for the line, and the line is there. And he should get this in 9 times out of 10 every day of the week. As long as he doesn't get the line slightly wrong and catch that 8. That's the only danger here, is this 8 ball. And he's got it right on the spot. But got no joy. I think, well, he might be giving this a slam to make the cut. And he should get a double kiss off the 9 ball. And it might send him back up the table for the 6 into the corner pocket. Well, the 5's gone in. The cue ball somehow has ended up on the 6. And this match should be over. Yeah, straightforward 8 ball. Roll that in, roll the 9. And this week's winner of Friday night 9 ball is Larry from the USA, who has beaten Bankster by 9 racks to 7. And the tournament lasted 3 hours and 10 minutes, which is probably a record for a full house in a Friday night 9 ball. So, with that, folks, thanks for your company. Thanks for watching us, and thanks for staying with us if you did. And it just remains for me to bid you good night. Take care, stay safe, and we will see you again soon. Now, let's see if I can remember the button. No, it isn't that one.
Good night, ladies.
It's that one.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
You're way off. I say you're way off this time, son.